Hello.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
Great, nice to see you.
You too.
You've been very busy lately.
We have been very busy.
So I just wanted to touch base with you today to kind of talk about what's going on at the chamber. I've been really impressed by all the
Thanks.
great work being done, and thought we could just have a quick chat about it and share that with people about what the chamber's been up to lately.
Yeah. What do
That
you want
sound
to
cool?
know?
Well, I think, first of all, I'd like to know how's it been going with a little baby in the midst of all this? Scarlett is how old now?
6 months. So that was a little bit different.
Wow.
We were all working from home, but now my husband's back at work. So Scarlett's at daycare now because we're busy all day long, feeding, different questions from members and phone calls and webinars, and I couldn't have a 6-month-old in the background. She's a little bit more active now.
Yeah, well, I can only imagine what it's like to juggle that, plus the responsibilities of dealing with all that's going on around COVID. And so I thought it would be good to kind of record this session and share it with people that we have following us on social media, and also others who ask, kind of what's the chamber been up to lately. And so one of the questions that I had for you was, what was the business like for the chamber before COVID? And then we'll get into a little bit more of what it's like now and what you think it's doing moving forward.
Yeah, so before COVID, we were busy, opening new businesses, doing ribbon cuttings, holding events, and it's completely transitioned. Now we're doing virtual email ribbon cuttings, and we are hosting everything via Zoom webinars. And now it's helping our members maintain their business and answering any questions we can, whether it's, how to get their federal funding or how to make sure when they open, if they're following the right guidelines. I know more about loans and guidelines and face masks than I ever thought I would. But yeah, we've completely transitioned and adapted. Our members have had to adapt their businesses, so we've completely adapted how we do things as well.
Yeah, it's so true. I guess what were the things, the initial changes that came in once COVID reached Maine? How did you decide as the executive of the chamber, what role the chamber was going to play in this? Because certainly different chambers across the state seem to be playing different roles. Some are more active than others. From what I've seen from you, you're very active. And what kind of discussions did you have about, what we're going to have to do once COVID got to Maine?
So I think the big thing was the fear of the unknown. A lot of our businesses didn't know what to expect, and we didn't either. So we said, all right, we need to get our members as much information as we can to help kind of make some of that nervousness and fear go away. A lot of our members and a lot of the businesses here in Central Maine are small businesses. That is their savings that they use to start up those businesses as their livelihood that they count on. So we have been reaching out to anybody that we can that we thought would be a great informational session for our members to get them that information on what's the next step. And I think now that the guidelines and the timelines are in place, people are a little bit better of the unknown, and now they know how to plan and do what they need to do to open.
Yeah. And one thing that I've noticed is that you have been focusing on really just delivering the facts, which is really important in a time of crisis, to just stick to the facts and helping people get information. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the people that you've had speak to members and what the thought process was behind getting them to come forward and speak?
Yeah, so we kind of laid out what are the biggest obstacles right now that our members are facing. So we have been doing weekly free webinars called Chamber Connect. We have had Commissioner Fortman from Department of Labor talk about all the unemployment stuff that's been going on. Next week we have Commissioner Johnson from DECD talking to anybody who has questions for their businesses and the guidelines. We've had Amy Bassett from SBA come and talk to our members about the PPP loans and the IDLs. So anything that we can to get the information out, I'd rather them hear it from the people who are making those guidelines and making the decisions. I'm not no expert at all, so I would love for them to just, and it's important for those commissioners and those people at the top to hear the concerns from our members too. because they are thinking of the whole state as a whole, and our members, if they can have a little voice to those commissioners, every little bit helps.
Have you been hearing from some members that are frustrated at all right now, or how are people feeling? What's the feedback you're getting?
Yeah, frustration for sure, and the fear and the sadness. I mean, we've had businesses that have closed, and we've had businesses that have been, kind of shut down for months now. And it's the fear of when we open, are people going to come out? Even if we have these guidelines in place, are they still too strict? Are we going to be able to maintain a business or hire back our employees that are on unemployment now? So there's a lot of concerns around our members right now.
I think it's really interesting you mentioned that, because it's one thing to get businesses open back up, but if people don't go, if the consumer confidence isn't there, it's just like being shut down.
Yeah.
What kind of conversations has the chamber been having about inspiring consumer confidence and encouraging people, obviously based in data and so forth, that it is, safer to go out, and obviously over time it will become more safer? What kinds of, have you guys been chatting about anything to help with consumer confidence at all?
So we've been trying to just share out the knowledge that has been shared out with us with DECD. And as long as everybody follows what they're supposed to do, people, I think, are going to be really excited to go out. I mean, they've been stuck at home. Yeah. And I think people, we see it a lot with we've been trying to promote local small businesses right now in our Facebook group and gift card giveaways. And people are so excited to continue to support those businesses. So I think it's a concern, but I really think that once things are lifted, people are going to be so excited to get out of their house and continue to support those people.
Yeah, I mean, Maine is really such a great state anyway, where we really love to support local small business and so forth. And I've heard from a lot of people who, are just wanting to see more information and have more assurance, which you guys are doing a great job with, that things are improving. And I think we're going to see things are going to be tough for the next couple of weeks, I suspect, because of the testing. With more testing is going to come more confirmed cases. I think we've had more cases of COVID in the midst of us than we maybe knew. And testing is going to rise those cases. We'll have to keep a close look on hospital utilization. And we all kind of went into this with the idea of keeping the pressure off the hospitals. And I know, Maine General, for instance, has had to lay some people off because they haven't been able to do some of the elective procedures and so forth. So it's trying to strike that balance between the safety aspect of it and also making sure that the businesses are able to be open. It's a tough line to walk, but what's made it easier is the chamber really stepping up and being active and aggressive. I mentioned this to your husband. I saw him, actually, we were allowed to play golf now.
Yes. Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Katie's husband is the pro at the Augusta Country Club in Augusta, and he is one heck of a great golfer. But I was mentioning to him there when I went to go play my first round, after we were allowed to do so, that I was really impressed with the work that you're doing with the chamber and the active role you've been taken, because
Thank you.
When people are, absolutely, I mean, when people are kind of up against the wall, they lean against us as leaders to really provide them with some assurance. And you've been doing an incredible job with that. So
thanks. I mean, all week I sit on different calls with, different commissioners or the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Maine State Chamber executives. And I mean, it's vital information. So I just figure out, all right, how do we get this out to our members? Because they all need to know everything.
Yeah, that's great. So we kind of talked about some struggles that your members are having right now. A lot of it seems to be around the fear of the unknown. And you've been certainly doing a lot to bring more information to people. I've been on some of those calls, which have been very informative. Commissioner Johnson, I'm excited to see, is going to be coming on next week. She's been great to work with. I think that, it's been a tough road to go with trying to balance, the health side of things, but also the business economy. Are there things that you plan to do moving forward post-COVID that are kind of changes, and what lessons have you learned from this that are going to maybe become the new normal for you? Oh, there's your dog.
This is the life at home, right?
That's awesome. What's your dog's name?
Layla.
Layla. That's perfect.
Normally she just sleeps under my desk, but she got excited for something.
So that's great.
We've had to look at the revamp of our events as a whole. I mean, even as restrictions start getting lifted, I mean, our after hours has over 100 people. I mean, how are we going to network and connect all of our members together? So we're trying to transition, you know, how we're going to do all that. We've ordered hand sanitizer and we've done all that, but again, it's the unknown for us too. Are people going to come to our events and stuff? We don't know. We're in the works right now of transitioning our Kennebec River Brew Fest to a virtual brew fest where people can still buy tickets and, you know, try out the beer from the state of Maine, but it's, you know, be in beer packs and you can take it home and, you know, drink it in the comfort of your home. So we are completely transitioning on how we do things. It is hard for us as in the chamber world because, you know, our role is to supply all this information and support our members and our smaller businesses. But, you know, chambers as a whole, we don't get any help or federal funding through this. So it's been hard for us because we don't apply for the PPP or the EIDL or anything. And, you know, we're that bread and butter is helping the small businesses. So we're trying to remain afloat because our businesses are struggling. And, you know, we're not offering events or doing any sponsorship. So we're just trying to do everything we can to help our businesses succeed, because then as a whole, we'll all succeed.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up because you are a business as well,
Yep.
but you don't qualify for some of these other resources that some of the other businesses have. And also, I would imagine that revenues must be down significantly for you.
Yeah. Yeah, with the cancellation of events, and then also, you know, membership dues and stuff like that. If our members don't have income coming in, and, you know, it's kind of hard to be pushing them to pay their memberships as well. So, yeah.
Well, I will say that just this week, I've always enjoyed being a member of the chamber, but just this week I was reflecting on some things that I've been thankful for. And frankly, the membership for the chamber now more than ever seems to be an incredible value to me. And a lot of that is the work you all are doing to connect with the community. We want to share this with others in hopes that others will choose to be a part of the chamber because it is such a vital resource to this community. And I think that just having the information right now is so important. And so I really appreciate the work that you're doing around this. And hopefully, you know, we are all in this together. Hopefully it gets better soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have less than 9 employees, it's less than $1 a day to be a member of the chamber. So it's definitely worth it for, you know, all the information we help get out and support, and just the recognition that we try to share out to our businesses, and just share everybody what they're doing. You know, follow our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page that support businesses in restaurants in Kennebec Valley, and all the members have been posting their hours and their daily specials and what they're offering. So it's great that it's a one hub for everything. So people have been really supportive of our Kennebec Valley community.
Well, early on, you posted a challenge, which we won. I was very excited about that. Danielle, our team assistant, was the benefactor of the gift card from the Ground Round. So that was, no, excuse me. Is it the Ground Round at the bowling alley that's over by the ice arena? Yeah, okay. Yep. So we posted a picture of some pizzas that we bought at Kushnock in our office, and we won the challenge. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I have to say, even going out to our businesses and buying those gift cards, they were so appreciative of that little bit. You know, every little bit helps. So we were hoping that, you know, people will buy, so that way they can win a gift card, and then they have to go back and spend more money. So it's all helping them. So it's great. That's
great. Well, Katie, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat today. And we're going to continue to spotlight other folks around the community, but we wanted to start with you because you've been doing such a great job to help keep our businesses afloat and help people make sure they have jobs to go back to or continue to have those jobs to provide for their families. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And it's a pleasure to get to work with you.
Thank you. And if you talk with anybody, you know, send them our way if they have questions about the guidelines or who do I ask about what, just, you know, have them call the chamber. We're here to help them.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, have a great day with Layla and Scarlett. And thanks for all the great work you're doing.
Perfect. Thanks, Matt.
See you later.